So my name is Snodgrass. I've worked here for a little bit over 4 years now, and I am head waitress here at the Lake White Club.
And in your 4 years, have you experienced anything unusual here, like yourself?
Yeah.
So what are some of your experiences you've had?
So usually like the biggest ones is usually you hear people talking whenever there's nobody else around. Like you'll just hear like whispers here and there and stuff like that. You can't really per se what they're making out, but you can hear that there's a conversation going on elsewhere.
And are you usually alone whenever you hear things like that? So you also close up the close up the club at some nights?
Yeah, and sometimes I even open it up too. Like I open up the Lake White Club sometimes too. So.
Okay. And before you started working here, were you ever a skeptic of paranormal?
No, I've always believed. My mom grew up in haunted houses, stuff like that. Like she had a house that there was a piano that used to play on its own and stuff like that. Nobody'd be around. She is like, she has the abilities to be able to like see them and stuff like that, and she can see
sensitive.
people. Yeah, she's on the high key of the sensitive part.
That's awesome.
She can see people's auras and stuff like that, so she can tell what type of person you are just by looking at you.
Yeah. And so, let's see here. And George Nye is believed to be one of the spirits who still, make a presence through here. I do remember when we did talk to you last time, you had a lot of things to talk about with George Nye. So
yes.
Let's go ahead and repeat some of those. You did say that George Nye is. Said was a funny guy. He likes
to pull little jokes on you. He likes to move things on you. He will push stuff off the bar. He'll knock things off the bar. Like I had a big mug, like I was talking last time, that was just sitting on the bar, dry as can be. Been sitting there for like 3 days, and all of a sudden it just started slowly, like somebody was pushing it off, like they didn't want it there. So it's like off down on the ground. Didn't break though. So
yeah, and. So besides that, you said, just trying to go through half of these. What's your name? Audrey? Audrey. So Audrey, what is your experience with Audrey?
I've seen her silhouette and stuff like that walk across these windows. And when I saw her, we have these the crank windows and everything like that. One of the handles are broken off of it. After I saw her shadow pass, all I hear is one of the broken handle just fall and hit the ground.
And did that scare you?
No.
No. Did you go and pick the handle up?
Yeah. And put it back on.
Okay. Anybody else got some questions?
Ask about the couch.
Oh yeah, the couch.
Oh, so the couch back in the log cabin area?
Yeah.
So when we have a psychic that comes in, every once in a while and just does readings for people here. One of the first things when she looked at that couch, she said it's a very picky couch. It doesn't like it when there's sunlight coming into that room. It doesn't like it when other stuff's around it. When it had the couch next to it, it's like, she was like, it doesn't even like that couch being next to it. It wants to be alone in a dark room. And she's like, it honestly has the persona of changing somebody's attitude, making them into either angry or very depressed. It has that energy to do so.
Wow. Yeah, I haven't seen the couch yet. You guys got to see the couch yet? No. No, we're gonna have to look at that one. And whatever is here, do you think it means to make harm?
No.
No.
When the psychic, she came in and she told us that she's picking up at least 5 human spirits, and then we also do have a ghost cat here. She said that she's picking up that there is a cat that likes to run up and down the stairs just right over in that little area.
And was she able to confirm that one of the spirits were George Nye?
Yeah, and she was also confirmed
Audrey's.
And then there was a guy that's downstairs in the basement that was where people always fall out of this chair. It's like somebody has pushed them off. But it's one of our regulars who had passed away. Supposedly that's his spot, and if anybody sits there, they're gonna get pushed off the chair.
Oh wow.
It's not like anything like where they're gonna get hurt. It's just more like, don't sit there. Only certain people can sit there.
And what is your take on the back room in the basement or in the kitchen area?
So There's nothing evil here. I know that because I would picked it up myself.
Right.
I have really high key energy so I know when they're around. But here downstairs, it's more of our playful spirit. He likes to take things and hide them as if he was keeping them for himself. So you're going to more likely see him as an apparition down there because he has the energy to pick up items and carry them somewhere else.
And do you think that he would be in the back room area, or would he just be in that area in general?
Just in that area in general. He probably hides out in that back area when everybody's here and like that, but he's not really shy of people.
So what is your take about all the weird feelings people get down there besides yourself?
A lot of my girls and stuff like that, whenever they first hear that this place is haunted, because we always let people know, like, because you're gonna see some stuff, like you're gonna see silhouettes like in the corner of your eye or whatever. They all get freaked out. They're like, they get paranoid. You know what I mean? I'm like, you don't have to be scared of them. They're not gonna do anything to hurt you. But I know a lot of other people, they do get a lot more nervous.
Yeah.
So definitely even just me telling stories, a lot of these girls get goosebumps and everything like that. I'm like, they're not here to hurt you. They're here just to trying to get your attention, just so you know that they're here.
So you said that last time we were here that George and I likes to play some tricks on yourself personally. What are some of those tricks? So
he likes to move things on me, but he also likes to touch my ears. So you're like, when I'm in the log cabin room, if I'm in there by myself just grabbing something or whatever, usually I'll just feel like somebody just sitting there kind of playing with my earlobe. I'm like, George, quit flirting. Like, I joke around with him too because I know he's just trying to get my attention.
Right.
So I say, George, you don't have to, just talk to me. I'm here to listen. But it's more of like kind of a touch thing that he likes to do. So
when you're here all alone by yourself and any times, do you ever try to talk or communicate with anything that's here?
Usually they will come to me and talk and stuff like that. Like I can hear them and like that. I'll try to see if they want anything, like if there's anything. It's usually just more of like, hey, I'm here.
Yeah.
I want you to know I'm here. But there's no intention of any of them leaving.
Yeah. And I got the bones question too. Do you know anything about the bones that were supposedly found in the floor of this building?
No, I've not heard anything about that.
Okay.
But
so yeah, Kevin said that it's just stories that he's heard. So I just didn't know if you heard anything about it.
I mean, it really wouldn't surprise me, like if you do find bones really anywhere in this part of Ohio because of Indian burial grounds and Indian territory. Because I mean, Ohio used to be a big Indian area, like I mean, Shawnee Indians, all that stuff. It wouldn't surprise me if you find Indian burial grounds in just small little locations.
Okay. That's all I got.
She said something last time about the corner of the log cabin room.
Oh yeah. So yeah, the corner of the log cabin room. You said that you'd always get fillings there.
Me and my mom's friend were all just sitting in the log cabin room, just taking pictures, trying to see if we can get George to communicate with us and stuff like that, because he seemed to be getting a little bit more active with a lot of the remodeling that they're kind of doing.
Yeah.
So here we're just sitting there, just taking pictures and stuff like that. And here we tried to take pictures in one corner, and here it was the left corner on the back side. Our camera would not take the pictures at all. Like it would light up as it was trying to, but it just would not.
Like it wouldn't flash or anything?
No, not
take
at all.
Shutter or nothing?
The throwing of the lemons and limes.
Well, you're throwing of the lemons and limes.
So
you think that's George, the throwing of the lemons and limes?
it could be, or it could be Audrey. Audrey, she's very particular about her front room, so if she doesn't like you two, I could also see her being more of like, hey, I don't like you, get out of here type thing. So, but one of my past coworkers were working here, she had a lime thrown at her, which came from the kitchen. Our kitchen doesn't use limes, so we were wondering where it came from in general. None of the boys in the kitchen threw it or anything like that, because they would admit to it after a while if they actually threw it. And here I was standing in there, I just saw it fly and hit her, and I'm like, what? And I go look back in the kitchen, nothing. I'm like, all right then. So I just kind of joked around, like, well, I guess George doesn't like you, just joking around. But I mean, I think it's more of a thing of like, they like it a certain way, and if they don't like you, they'll let you know.
Okay. Anything else, Christy?
That passed away in the lake.
Oh, the story of the kid that passed away in the lake.
So when the psychic came here and we were trying to figure out everybody who is haunting here, like who are spirits and stuff like that, she said that she's getting a present of an 18-year-old boy. He's our active ghost downstairs that likes to move things because he has more of that teenage, like, I like this item, I want to take it and go put it this way, like somewhere else. Like, it's usually stuff we don't really notice until like absolute later, but we're like, oh, we probably just put it there in general. But he's the one that likes to make himself known. You'll see him walking past in the kitchen and stuff like that. He's very active, but we don't know who it is, because if you think about it, he could have been 18-year-old back when this first lake was built. Like, there's not an actual like set date where she picked up who this kid is. Yeah,
and I'm just trying to get this information too, because I'm going to try to see if there's any 18-year-old that's drowned on this lake.
Yeah.
So, Christy?
So when you were talking about the 18-year-old or the one that likes to pick up, because there's two separate downstairs, right? There's the bar, and then there's the kitchen area that goes down. You were talking more of the bar, correct? Or is it both?
It's both.
Okay.
The one that haunts the bar is the regular guy who pushes people out of the chair that supposedly is his. And then more the kitchen area is the 18-year-old that likes to find things that he likes and move them.
And every one of these, pretty much the Audrey, George, the 18-year-old, they're the ones that make the full body apparitions, right?
Yes.
And what about the guy that pushes people out of the chair?
None of us have actually seen him.
It's just a fill-in.
Yeah, like it's just more of like you follow the chair and you think, oh, maybe they're just drunk, but we have changed those chairs in that spot multiple times because we thought the chairs maybe just were a little bit wobbly and drunk people falling off chairs, but like it's very solid. Like we have changed them to where these chairs aren't wobbly, they aren't broken, and here people are still falling out of them.
He probably waits till they get to that certain point, gives them a little nudge.
Like, okay, get out of here.
All right, well, what about, is that all you had to ask?
Is there a certain like hot spot that we need to pay attention to?
It depends, because sometimes the energy will translate from being up here to downstairs. Honestly, I would worry more about the log cabin room, because where they're doing a lot of renovation right back in that area, it's going to be a hot spot. George doesn't like things changing.
Yeah.
I can already tell you that from the get-go.
Christy, it's still up to you. I've asked every question on this page.
Has anyone seen, like, do you think the windows play mind tricks on people? There was one, Kevin had said something like, he just gets this feeling of dread, but you're sensitive, and I don't see that you get that feeling at all.
Basically, we're asking if you think that maybe the windows make people feel exposed, so they get a weirder feeling than what it really is. Once you start thinking about it,
I think it's where the fact that I've kind of grew up being a sensitive and knowing that it's okay to be like this, that I've learned to accept whatever feeling that I get. And then sometimes if I feel dread, it's more of the ghost is kind of trying to communicate, saying that they're feeling bad. They want to be known that they're here, they're lonely. They want to know that I can hear them and that I know that they're there. It's more of that ending. But like when you get people who are skeptic that come in here and they come in one day and to sit here for a while just alone, you're going to feel scared. You're going to. They make you feel like that. Like, because they all come in, if you don't believe in it and you're just sitting here by yourself, they all make themselves known. They'll all be around you at some point in the building.
So you personally do believe that this place is really active?
Oh yeah. Some nights are worse than others and stuff like that. Like with it being a slow night, I feel like it will be a little bit more active because where there wasn't so many people in here. Sometimes like when there's a lot of people in here, they kind of hide away. Yeah. But like where it's been kind of dead, there hasn't really been a time for them to feel like they need to go hide. So.
Do you feel like there's any attachment to any of the photographs or any furniture in here?
Oh yeah,
You think it's like it seems like a very family-oriented, like
it has been.
happy guy.
Yeah, like a lot of the attachments and spirits and stuff like that have been from like items and stuff like that. Like a lot of the pictures, I feel like George is more attached to the building though, since where he originally built the log cabin area. I feel like he's attached to the property.
Yeah.
And then Audrey is more attached to here in this dining room, to the tables and chairs.
To the restaurant
Yeah.
experience.
Yes, like she's attached to the atmosphere and stuff like that.
Same with the young guy.
Yeah.
The late.
Yeah, like just making, they just want, like they like how there is people here, that there's always energy that they can kind of get from people. Like they want to be in the center of attention. They like that area, like they like to be there and stuff like that. And you can walk from one end of the building to the next and you can get totally different feelings from each end.
Yeah, I've already noticed that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you can walk back to a place out, like back in the bathrooms to back out in here, it's complete two different energies
Yeah.
just for only like 100 feet.
Yep. To downstairs.
Yep.
To the patio. It's all different.
That's awesome because, like I told you, I picked it up in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Like just for you to say that, it's awesome. Because I'm a sensitive too, but I'm new. I can't. I'm just trying to figure out what it is that I get, and it's crazy, and they like to communicate with me, and it's just an amazing experience. But I'm still trying to figure it out myself. So whenever I did go to the bathroom, like I just felt like something. I just was there. I was inside there with me. Like I wasn't by myself in there.
If they know that you can kind of hear them or even sense that they're there, they're going to follow you around because they want to be known. They want to have that communication because all the people that haunt here have been like people that were people like they wanted to be around people.
Yeah.
They wanted to talk to people. They wanted to be known.
Socialize.
So if they knew, like if they know that you know
That they're there.
that they're there, they're going to follow you around all day.
And you say nobody has been touched other than you with your ears?
As far as I know of, I know a lot of people, like, they just see, like, apparitions, stuff like that. I feel like George likes to touch me to get more, like, kind of more of, like, a flirty and, like, joking around with me, because I do joke around with him. Like, when we had the dog cage in here, because one of our workers just left it here overnight and then come back and get it. Here, I'd said, George, don't get yourself locked in. As soon as I started walking away, I hear the cage move. I'm like, George, what did I say? Don't get yourself locked in there. Like, just joking around. Like, it's a constant between us two. Like, we're going to joke around with each other now because I just know he's here. I'm not scared. It's his property.
Right.
I'm a guest here. So.
All right. Anything else?
For questions.
I'm tapped for questions. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.